Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Wonderful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jill's last will and testament leaves Billy shattered. She lied to me, Billy. He cries uncontrollably. Jill Abbott's last testament was not supposed to be like this. It was not supposed to be read out in a quiet room at Chancellor Winter's. The room has oak panels. It is a very sad place. This is happening while rain is coming down the windows of Genoa City. It looks like the sky is sad because Jill is gone. That is what happened. Jill Abbott's last will and testament is out now. Billy is very upset. He is crying because Jill lied to him. Billy is saying that Jill's last will and testament is a shock to him. The room was full of people who loved Jill, were scared of Jill, owed Jill money, or had been hurt by Jill at some point. Everybody kept looking at Billy Abbott. He was sitting still in his chair at the end of the table, but his leg would not stop moving up and down. His jaw was tight. His eyes looked empty. Billy Abbott had not gotten any sleep since he got the news that Jill was gone. Every time he closed his eyes he would hear Jill's voice. It was sharp and commanding, also disappointed and proud. Sometimes Jill's voice was loving and other times it was furious. Jill was a person. Jill was never easy to understand. As the attorney started to read, it became really clear that Jill Abbott still had one surprise for her son even after she was gone. Jill Abbott was going to drop one bomb on her son, and this was going to be bad. The beginning of the meeting was a bit of a blur for Billy. They talked about giving money to charity and companies donating to causes. They even set up accounts for the things Jill cared about. It was clear that Jill was very smart about business because of the way she worded everything and decided how to use the money. They mentioned Catherine Chancellor at times, which showed how important their friendship had been for many years. Billy did not seem surprised by any of this. He knew Jill always thought about what she would do and planned for it. Jill had always been someone who thought 10 steps ahead of everyone. What he was not ready for was the change in the way the attorney spoke when he got to the part that said personal addendum. The room felt all of a sudden. Even Victor Newman, who was standing by the window with his arms crossed, seemed to notice it. The attorney put on his glasses, started reading, very slowly and carefully, like he knew that what he was about to say could not be forgotten. The attorney read from the personal addendum section. The words he said were very important. Victor Newman and the attorney and everyone else in the room were all waiting to see what the personal addendum would say. The attorney said, "To my son, William Abbott." Billy's head jumped up really fast. His eyes got all teary away. The attorney kept talking. "I am leaving you everything that's mine, William Abbott," he said. "That is not all, William Abbott. I am also leaving you the truth. You should know the truth, William Abbott. You deserve to know it, even if it hurts you badly, William Abbott." A quiet noise spread through the room. Billy's stomach felt like it was falling. He clenched his hands into fists hard that his knuckles turned white. That was Jill talking. She had a way of speaking. And all of a sudden Billy did not feel like a man in a big meeting room. He felt like a little boy again, standing in the living room while Jill walked back and forth trying to figure out if she should help him or tell him some hard truths that would hurt him. The attorney kept reading what Jill said exactly as she wanted. Jill said that for a long time she let Billy think something that was not true about his place in the Abbott family. This was about things that affected how Billy felt about himself, like the choices he made and the fact that he often felt like he was not good enough. Jill let Billy believe this lie for years and years. It made him feel reckless and unsure of himself. The Abbott family and Billy's role in it was something Jill had been dishonest about. This had a big impact on Billy's life, making him feel like he was never enough. Jill said she had been controlling things from behind the scenes to make Billy do what she wanted. She thought she was helping Billy by making him stronger. Really, she was making his biggest fears worse. Jill knew she had been wrong to blame Jack for things he did not do. She also kept secrets that should have been told. The worst part is that she used the fact that Billy loved her to get what she wanted. As Jill kept talking, Billy's breathing got really bad. It felt like his chest was caving in. This was not a will. This was something that someone was telling the truth about. It was a time to face the facts. The person who wrote this was saying things that would hurt people after they were gone. When the attorney read the line, "I told you I did everything for your good," that was a lie. Billy just fell apart. He could not hold it in anymore. The attorney was reading these words. Billy was thinking about what the words really meant. Billy was thinking about the person who said these words to him. The words were Billy and what happened to him. Billy was feeling a lot of emotions when he heard these words. The attorney reading the words made Billy break down. Billy was broken because of what the attorney read. The words were saying that someone did things to Billy and said it was for his own good. That was not true. The attorney reading this made Billy feel sad and angry. At the time, Billy was feeling all these emotions because of what the attorney read from the line. The line was talking about Billy. What happened to him? Billy was very upset when the attorney read the line. The sound that came from him was really sad and honest, a sob that he could not hold back. It was loud in the quiet room. He leaned forward in his chair, his elbows were on his knees, his face was in his hands and his shoulders were shaking hard because he had been hurt for a very long time and it all came out now. He said, "She lied to me" at first, but it was very quiet. Then he said it again, louder and louder. He sounded really upset. "She lied to me. My life. She lied to me." Nobody did anything. Nobody said a word. The people around him just sat there, did not move because they did not know what to do. Jack took a step forward. Then he stopped. This was because Billy let out a painful cry. It was not the kind of cry you would expect from Billy, the executive that people in Genoa City knew. This cry sounded like it came from a kid. This kid had just found out that the one person he thought would always tell him the truth had decided to be in control of being honest. The cry belonged to a wounded child, not the composed executive, from Genoa City that Jack and others knew as Billy. The attorney stopped talking for a moment. He was really upset. Then he went on. Jill had given Billy a lot of control over a trust. Only if he did certain things. These things did not seem like advice, they seemed like a way to get back at him. Billy had to stop being in charge of anything for 1 whole year. He had to go to therapy. It was not something he could choose to do, it was something he had to do to get all the benefits from the trust. Jill had even picked the therapist that Billy had to see. The trust was still Billy's trust. Jill had set it up in a way that made Billy have to follow these rules to get anything from the Billy's trust. Jill had thought of everything. She wanted to control Billy's life even when she was not around anymore. This made Billy very sad over again. He started crying hard and then he began to laugh in a sad way. Jill still does not trust Billy, he said in a rough voice. Jill still thinks Billy is not able to take care of himself. Victoria Newman stood across the room. Her face was hard to read. Her eyes got a little softer. She knew how it felt to have a parent always telling you what to do. She knew how it felt to be loved in a way that was not really lovable, but it hurt anyway. Lily Winters looked down. Tears fell down her face without making a sound. Victoria Newman saw this. It was clear that Lily Winters was upset. Lily Winters had loved Billy a lot. Once she believed in him when he did not believe in himself, and now seeing him like this made her remember the times she thought were over. Victoria Newman and Lily Winters both knew what it was like to be hurt by people they loved. The attorney got to the page of the letter. Jill's last words to Billy were not really sorry. Not completely. Jill said she was scared. She was scared that if Billy knew the truth before he would leave Jill, be angry with Jill, or even worse, see Jill for the person Jill really was. A mother who loved Billy much but only knew how to show it by being in charge and telling Billy what to do. Jill wrote, "If you are reading this, then Jill is gone and Jill cannot fix the things Jill messed up. I really want you to forgive me one day. What I want even more is for you to forgive yourself. I mean, I did some things and then I blamed you for them, and that was not fair to you. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive yourself for everything that happened, because I know I hurt you. I said it was your fault, which was not true. That was it." No dramatic flourish. No final demand. Just devastating honesty. Billy slid out of his chair. Fell to his knees. The floor was really cold beneath him. Jack was there, with him now. He got down on his knees. Put his arms around Billy. Billy was crying much that his whole body was shaking. Billy said to Jack, "I tried." He was crying into Jack's shoulder. Billy said, "I tried to be the person she wanted me to be." Billy tried to be better. It was all fake. None of it was real. Billy was still. He said it again. None of it was real. Jack held Billy tighter. His own eyes got wet. He felt bad for all the times he judged Billy without knowing how much Jill had put on Billy. Jack thought about all the times he did not understand Billy. It made him feel guilty. Jack was sorry for judging Billy when he did not know what Billy was going through with Jill. Outside the rain got heavier, thunder was rumbling in the distance. It seemed like the whole city of Genoa City was feeling the shock too. Victor turned away, his jaw was tight, he did not like feeling vulnerable. You could tell the news had really gotten to him. He had a lot of respect for Jill, they had fought a lot. He had loved her but in his own complicated way. Victor and Jill had a long history. But what happened to her that was just cruel for the Newman family, who were known for being tough. This was really harsh. The Newman way was usually tough, but this was something else. Victor thought the way Jill was treated was ruthless. Even by Newman standards, the way Jill was treated was very ruthless. The room was empty at last. Billy was still on the floor. He did not get up. Jack came over to him, tried to get him up. Then Lily tried to talk to Billy. Victoria also stayed behind. She looked like she wanted to say something that really mattered to Billy. Billy did not hear what any of them were saying. All Billy could hear was Jill's voice. It was in his head. It would not go away. He remembered all the things Jill said to him. Jill said a lot of things that hurt Billy. She said, "I know what's best" a lot. Billy often felt like he was not good enough. Now Billy understood everything. The things Jill said to him made sense now. Billy remembered every word Jill said. Every time Jill made him feel bad about himself. It all made sense to Billy now. That thing really made the pain feel worse. It was like that made the hurt feel more painful. The pain from that was really bad. Hours later, Billy stood alone in the room holding the will in his shaky hands. His tears were all gone. He still felt empty inside. He whispered to himself, "You do not get to control me," and his voice cracked one more time. "You do not get to control me from the grave," he said. "You do not get to control me again." When he said this, his chest felt tight because he loved Jill and it hurt him very much. Jill had lied to Billy. Yes, Jill had lied to Billy. She had really loved him. This was something that would stay with Billy Abbott and bother him for the rest of his life. Billy Abbott would always remember that she had loved him. In Genoa City, secrets always come at a cost. And Jill Abbott's final secret didn't just shatter her son, it changed him forever. Billy thought he knew what it was like to be sad. He had lost friends and people he loved before, and even parts of himself. This time it was different. This sadness did not go. It just stayed inside him, feeling heavy and hard to move, like a rock inside his body. On days when Billy did normal things like taking a shower, answering his emails, and going to see a therapist, the sadness did not let go. Not having Jill around was not something that was missing. Jill's absence was something that Billy could feel all the time. Her voice was still in his head at weird times. It was so clear and it sounded just like her, making him wonder about everything he did. Is this an idea? Is this the thing to do? Are you being responsible, William? Billy had to catch himself so he did not say anything loud to her voice. He thought about what William was doing. If William was really being smart, William was the one who had to make these choices. William had to be responsible. One afternoon after a tough therapy session, Billy found himself standing outside the old Abbott house. He did not mean to go. His car just turned into the driveway like it knew the way. The Abbott house looked the same, it was perfect and big, but going inside felt like walking into a place that held a lot of bad memories. Every room in the Abbott house had something that reminded him of the past. Arguments that started as talks and ended in yelling, times when he thought Jill was happy with him. Then she was not. The Abbott house was full of these memories. Billy walked around until he got to the living room. This was the place where Jill had told him something. She said she always did what was best for Billy. Billy's knees gave out. He sat down on the couch. He put his hands over his eyes. "I believed you," Billy said quietly. Saying this made Billy feel bad over again. Billy thought about what Jill had said to him in the living room. He remembered that Jill had told him she did what was best for Billy. Jack found his brother in that house again on. This really startled him. Jack was surprised to see Billy. He did not get angry with Billy. Instead, Jack sat down in the armchair across from Billy. Jack watched Billy with a lot of concern. He was really worried about his brother. Jack said to Billy, "You do not have to hurt yourself like this." Jack spoke gently to Billy. Billy shook his head at Jack. Billy said, "I have to do this." Billy felt strongly about this. Billy explained to Jack, if I do not face what happened, if I do not feel all of the pain, then I will make it into something. Billy always did this. Jack nodded his head slowly at Billy. Jack understood what Billy was saying about himself. He knew Billy well, so he could see that Billy was telling the truth. This time Billy was not trying to run. Billy was just standing there in the fire. Something big happened when Billy was talking to his therapist. This was a session Billy almost did not go to. His therapist asked him a question that really made him think. The question was, if Jill had told you the truth before she died, what do you think would have happened? Billy started to say something. Then he just stopped. He sat there quietly for a long time. Then he laughed a little. Shook his head. Billy said, I would have been really mad if Jill had told me the truth. He also said I would have yelled at her. He said that maybe he would have walked away for a while. His voice was really low now. He would have come back to Billy. It was like something hit him hard. He realized that Jill was not trying to protect Billy from the truth. Jill was trying to protect Jill from the things that would happen because of the truth. Knowing this did not make the pain go away. It made Billy see the pain in a different way. For the first time Billy felt angry, and it was not because of something Billy did. Billy felt angry at what Jill did to Billy. That anger of Billy's finally had a way out. It was being honest. When the people from Chancellor Winters came to Billy about some advice, even though he was supposed to be on leave, Billy said no. He did it in a way. He did it in a way. It surprised everyone. This was a Billy, one who did not need things to be crazy to feel like he was living. Lily saw this change in Billy too when they met at Crimson Lights. At first talking to each other was awkward, with a lot of silence, but then Lily said what they had both been thinking about for weeks. She said that Billy seemed clearer to her. Billy gave a smile. He said that he was finally paying attention to his thoughts. Not the thoughts of the woman he loved. Not the thoughts of Lily. Not the thoughts of the people around him. Lily's eyes looked kinder. She said that she had always wanted Billy to be able to do that. This time when she said it, her voice did not sound sad. She just sounded like she accepted things the way they were. The anniversary of Jill's death was coming up. Billy was really scared. He did not want to think about it. He could not help it. He kept thinking about Jill. He had dreams about her. In one dream, Jill was standing in front of him with her arms crossed. She was watching him. Billy was trying to talk to her. He could not say anything. When he woke up, he was breathing hard. His heart was beating fast. He was sweating a lot. Billy did something that he never did before. He wrote down his dream. He wrote down everything that he felt. The anger that he had. The sadness that he felt because he missed Jill. He still loved Jill. That made him very sad. He went through page after page. He saw the Jill that he had inside him. He talked to her. He argued with Jill. He even forgave Jill. Sometimes he screamed at Jill until his hand hurt a lot. It was not a thing to do. This is what he really felt about Jill. On the morning of the anniversary, Billy went to Jill's grave by himself. There were no speeches and no people watching. It was Billy and the truth. He put one white rose on the stone. Stood there for a really long time. His hands were in his pockets and his shoulders were back because of the wind. Billy said to Jill's grave, "You hurt me." Then he said, "I am done pretending you did not hurt me." Billy's voice was shaking. He kept talking. He said these things to Jill's grave because he needed to say them. Billy was talking to Jill's grave. He was telling her how he felt. "I am also done letting that be the end of my story." He breathed out slowly like he was getting rid of something that the story had been weighing him down for years. For the time, the silence that followed did not feel empty when I thought about my story and what the story meant to me. That day, Billy went back to his apartment and opened up his laptop. He started making a plan for a book. This book was not about his life. It was not about sharing secrets. It was a made-up story about a mother and a son who were fighting with each other. The mother and son in the story were fighting about who was in charge and who loved who. Billy did not know if people would ever get to read his book. That was not important to him. What was important was that he was making something that came from a good place inside him. He was making something that did not need Jill to say it was okay. The book was about a mother and a son, and Billy was excited to see where the story would go. Billy was writing a book, a story, about a mother and a son, and that's what mattered to him. By nightfall, Billy